Welcome to Pencils and Lipstick. This is a podcast for indie authors. I'm Kat Caldwell, novelist, short story writer, and book coach. Here on Pencils and Lipstick, we're obsessed with all things story, and it is my goal to bring you the writing tips that you need to make your
episode
novel
296
come to
of
life.
Pencils and Lipstick. I'm Kat Caldwell, and today I'm with Becky Grogan. Hi, Becky.
That's me.
So you're going to see a lot of Becky soon. Well, starting today, right? Monthly, because we are going to talk to you guys today about what you can expect on the Making Social Media Easier episodes, which are going to be every third week of every month from now until the end of time.
Oh, I love having a job forever.
Doesn't pay much, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm always a volunteer.
We do it because we love it.
Yes, we do.
Why don't you tell people again why I chose you, maybe? You were
'Cause
on
I'm
the
the only
show in
marketing person
October.
she knows. Doesn't know anyone but me, but that's okay. Now I'm an expert in my field.
You are an expert, but you are a book marketing expert.
Well, I am a person with a lot of marketing experience who transitioned into the writing sphere because I love writers because writers are the best and they have the most incredible minds. And so when I got my certification for Author Accelerator, I planned on coaching romance and seasonal romance. But then the questions started coming in about marketing and marketing and marketing. And so I said, you know what? Maybe I should be talking to writers about marketing because there seems to be such a knowledge gap.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
how I got into this area of coaching and writing. And I love it. And there's such a need, and there's so much information, and it's hard to get through the junk and find out what you really need to know. So,
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to merge our knowledge. I've been in it since forever, 2017. You've been in marketing and now book. And everything's changing and
yes.
everything's thrown at the writer. And whether you're traditional or indie, you're responsible for book marketing. And
Yes.
none of us know what we're doing, Becky.
Well, it does. It's kind of a soapbox moment for me because I feel very strongly that if you write a book, it needs to get into the hands of the readers.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many, and I have so many friends who can't get themselves published, or they do get published and then nobody knows about the book and they're just frustrated beyond belief. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much work that goes into writing. And when you write a really good book, you really want people to read it. And so that's really the goal. And I
Yes.
just said really like 43 times. So don't use me as an example of how you should write.
But see, that is your first draft that we're just not going to edit. So that's
We're just going to revise that and take out the really said 14 times.
it's okay. But don't you think marketing these days, like you just have to start somewhere, and it is hard.
Yeah.
It's scary. No, it's not
It is
hard. It's
scary.
scary.
It's scary, and people feel such a pressure to do so many things because they're looking at other people and they're like, well, she's doing that and she's doing that, and I've got to do all of this. And you can't. It's not realistic unless you are really so spectacular at marketing yourself and your book, and you can do all these things and juggle and still write. For most people, it doesn't work. You have to choose what works for you. So that's what we're going to talk about is
We are.
how do you get to that point and going through the noise and just trying to take some pressure off of people when they're already so overwhelmed by just the whole process of writing and fitting that into your life. Because, the balance there is really difficult because if you're anything like me, once I get into something, I get so hyper focused, I don't want to stop. But that makes the family angry when there's no food,
Yeah, they tend to get
They
cranky.
get a little cranky.
What?
So,
And then you wake up out of your hole and you go, wait a minute, I'm cranky too because I need to eat.
I need to eat and I'm tired. And do I have to do something for you? No,
No.
I don't want to.
What I've seen from authors, so I saw most authors, I would say, there are some authors who are very good at social media marketing. It would be,
Yeah.
I'm always curious as to whether it translates into book sales. I know some of them who do because they post their results or they do a Kickstarter and you can see that it sells, within a few days. But most writers struggle with it. And then you have people who are really good at social media. And I don't know about whether you would separate that from just marketing, like if you would be good at marketing, but they're good at the social media. And now I've seen a few posts of people going, oh crap, now I have to write the book. Like neither one's good, right? Like you can't have a book and not be able
You
to talk
can't,
about it.
yeah,
And then you can't
I
have a
love
book
that.
that you talk about, but like it's not done, right?
Right. No, I mean, you've got to be, well, first of all, it comes back to the question that I always ask the writers I work with is what's your end game?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? And if you don't have a clear goal in mind, you're not going to reach it,
Yes.
right? And so, I think social media is great, and not so great in whatever the circumstances are. And I think if you have an established following already, that you should stick with it,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yep.
But I don't know a ton of writers other than like the really famous ones like Lucy Score, um, or Diana Gabaldon who have such a huge following that it doesn't
Then it
it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
make any difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a slow game, and that's what people don't want to hear. Although if you listen to that, then that in itself should relieve some pressure. You are not going to get a result of an extra 100 people in one day. It doesn't happen that way.
It really
So
doesn't.
it doesn't. It really, really doesn't. And a lot of times, like you can post something that gets a lot of views, like my sleeping beagle back there. If I woke him up, he's really, really cute, and I put that on Facebook or TikTok or whatever, and everybody that loves beagles would be like, oh, but those people aren't the ones that are reading my book unless I'm writing about a
Yeah.
beagle.
Most
So,
likely not, no. And yeah, and
yeah.
views just don't really mean anything. I mean, they
Mm-mm.
do and don't, right? Like we were talking the other day because I did something, who knows what, and lots of people unfollowed. I honestly have no idea. I was digging myself out of snow. All of a sudden, people became cruel. But
Don't ever
actually,
snow shovel on Facebook.
like, oh my gosh. Well, I think people were bored and, like you have to all the time. You go, why am I following that person? You clean out your stuff and that's fine.
Hmm.
We kind of have to take away that stigma of if people unfollow you, they're not going to buy your book. Like what you just
Hmm.
said. What's your end game? Why
Yeah.
do you care if they unfollow? It doesn't.
Well, and it's like what you and I have talked about. So, Kat and I have talked about the fact that you can do something and get a lot of followers,
Mm,
but if they're not opening your emails or they're not buying your books, are they the right followers? Because you can pay. I mean, shoot, you can go out and pay
that's
for a
true.
lot of followers. You can just go buy email lists all day long. But, you know, 89% of that's going to be just people that you just bought you bought
Yeah.
their name because they like golf, they live in the same city, they're in this age bracket. I mean, that's demographics, and that works in certain cases, but writing is a lot more personal than that.
Mm, yeah.
Writing is about doing something transformative for the reader. And
Yep.
what is the reader looking for? What's your specific reader looking for?
Right.
Now, if I'm Cat's fan, which I am, and I'm looking for something that is slow burn and emotional and really, really makes you think and get involved, then I'm a Cat fan. If I want something that's so hilarious that I'm laughing out loud, that might be Megan Quinn or
Yeah.
Lucy Score.
Yeah.
So there's all different kinds of writers, and you have to make sure that you are targeting the people who actually are your readers, your ideal readers. So,
So do you think so I mean I like what you said, we're gonna slow roll it. We're basically gonna give people starting February 16th like ideas that they can implement right away. Right. So in 2 weeks we're gonna talk about newsletters, why they have them, what we can do with them. And then every week we're gonna talk a little bit about social media because it's literally all over like we can't get away
yeah,
from it, right?
yeah.
Whatever social media it is. But um I think that this going back constantly to this idea of like slowly building,
Hmm.
it's so much better because of what you're saying, because you're targeting your ideal reader, and you at the same time are also like becoming comfortable in who you're going to present in social media, because I am a fan of, you do not have to be all you all the time on social media. You're not becoming an influencer. You are a business person selling your book. Like I like to distinguish that. I don't have to let people into every part of my life as
Mm-mm.
an author, but I do need to decide which parts, right?
Right. And a lot of that comes with, and we'll talk about this next week about the pillars of how I teach
Hmm.
writers to market.
Oh, that's right. It's
Um,
pillars next week.
it's pillars next. Y'all just hang in with us because it's going
Yeah,
to be a wild ride.
it will be a while. March is going to be newsletters. We're going to start at the beginning in 2 weeks
But
with the
you will
pillars.
learn something every time
Literally.
with us. Yes. Uh, So, and now what was I talking about?
The
Because I just got
pillars.
all off track. Oh, yeah. So for me, one of the main pillars is the author's brand.
Mm,
And I think when I say that, it scares people because they're like, I don't have money for a brand. Well, okay, we need to like break it down because the brand is who you are, what you believe, and basically your interior values. And
mm,
so that is how you really determine how you're perceived. Because
okay.
if my core value is I am just friendly, outgoing, and I just want to be social all the time. So that's going to be me, right? That's not me. Um, I'm a lot different than that. And so if you're looking for somebody who's all social and that's not going to be me. If you're looking for somebody who's silly, stupid, but thoughtful, that would probably be more me.
Okay.
Um,
So you're going to want
and
to choose
honest.
who you are, right? Like you don't
Yeah.
want to I can't be Megan Quinn. I wish I could.
Oh, she's adorable. And she's so, but I mean, there are some really good examples. And maybe we should do some of that. Maybe we should do a little
Get some
examples.
examples, yeah.
Get some examples because there's just a lot of things that I see really good marketing writers who do really well at marketing. And you look at them, but you can't mimic them because they
Mm,
are being true to their core values and their
yeah,
author brand. So you can look and see what's working for them. And then you can say, I'm not comfortable with that because that's not really who I am. I'm this person. And
right.
as you're doing that, you're really evolving and you're understanding these things are important to me. This is what I'm willing to share. These are things that I think my readers would be interested in knowing. Um, and there's just a lot that goes along with it. But you have to be true to yourself. And that's
Yeah.
really what it is. And if you're a quiet introvert, okay, there's lots of quiet introverts and there's lots of extroverts that love quiet introverts because you're writing something that, again, it's that transformative journey
Yeah.
for your reader. So you can be whoever you are.
Yeah. And it's going to be tiring if you become somebody who you're not. So you might as well,
Yeah.
like, we're not saying that we're not saying become a persona for sure, but that you like you are who you are, you present who you are, and then make that fit social media. So like I don't do little dances. Like I could,
I knew there
although
was
I was
something
a dancer,
missing.
but I feel too old. I'm just like I just don't know.
And I don't take pictures of myself wearing shorts because I am too old.
What?
So it's like, yes, you'll only see me from my chin up
And only when I'm like this.
and only when I'm like this.
My
Gosh, it does make me look like 30 years younger.
somebody
Um,
the other day was like, "Why do you look so young in that video?" And I filters. So,
see, and I always forget. And I'm like, oh,
dang it. No. I
darn
mean,
it.
some people and and that's just like somebody kind of got on me about using filters. And I was like, "No, I'm going through a skin crisis. I will be using filters. You don't have to. That's fine."
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love what like following a couple people. I'm like, I admire the fact that you don't use any filters or put makeup on,
Right.
but that's not me. So
Yeah.
like,
So my husband saw me today because I'm not a big makeup wearer, but I did for today. And he goes, "Ooh, you got your scary face on." That's what he calls it, my scary face.
oh my
I
gosh.
said, "Oh, but I'll look so good on camera." Well, I'm not so sure, but still.
I got my two lights here. My
I
you
have
just
one over here which I don't know how to work, so I'm got different shades. Oh,
you
but
know.
here's the thing. That's just we're all learning. I am
Yeah.
learning every day. It's one thing to be someone who is marketing a product,
Mm,
right? Doesn't matter who I am if I'm marketing a product. You're not going to really see me, right? Unless I'm
yep.
doing an event or something. So this is different. I am just like every writer out there who's trying to learn to market themselves. I'm adjusting, I'm learning, I'm figuring things out. And none of us know everything. None of us are perfect, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But what you said before, you just have to start. So
Yeah. I think
hopefully,
that's more important than anything. It is
yes.
scary though. It's scary to start. We are also we were talking before like And I think you hit on it before a little bit ago, is like you don't have to do all of it. So when we say start, what it like what would you choose? Like whatever you're most comfortable with?
Yeah. Well, that's why I say if I am doing a reflective dive into who I am as a writer, and I'm thinking about who I want to be,
Mm.
that's not going to work. Who are you? What do you write? Why do you write
So
it?
this isn't
What is
like New Year's
important?
goals.
No,
Oh,
no,
dang it.
it's not. And just because you say start it doesn't mean that that's an instant post on Instagram.
Mm.
Start it by sitting down and figuring out what you can do, what you have time for, what you're comfortable with. Writing is your focus, right? So fitting the marketing piece in there has to be something that is not seamless because it won't always be that way, but it has to be something that's scheduled for
Mm.
you. So you
Okay.
know, I do whatever I'm choosing. All right, say I'm doing Facebook posts, and the three topics that I've chosen for this quarter are writer's craft, parts of my book, and then stupid things that I do when I'm not on camera. All right, so I don't know. But if I look at the calendar and I'm like, all right, so I have to do X amount of posts in 3 months. When can I schedule them? When can I complete them? If you actually go to the point where you're looking at a visual brand and you know what that is, it represents you. Um, for instance, let's say my colors are green, blue, and red.
Hmm.
All right, so red frames are going to be the stupid things I do when I'm not on camera, right? And then the blue would be writer's craft, and the yellow would be pieces of my book that I want to share or I have questions with that I want, because there's a lot of things that you can do with your readers to help them be involved and you're as you're on this journey
Yeah.
to
Some people
nurture
are really
them.
good at that.
Some
I'm not.
people are really, really good at it. There is a fear. Sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to reveal my book. It's like, don't reveal your book.
Mhm.
But you can put a sentence from your book, or you can put a description of a character from a book, or a situation that you're thinking about putting your character in, and ask people, what do you think
Yeah.
makes more sense? Does she get bitten by a dog or is she chased by a bear?
What kind of bear?
What kind of bear? Good question. Show
Dang
me a
it.
picture of the bear.
Yeah.
But that, as silly as that sounds, there are just things when you start interacting um, that are so fun. And that for me, if I was producing books, I would want people to find my information fun because
Right.
I think I'm funny.
Yeah.
I'm not most of the time, but I think I am. So, hey, that's my personality.
Yeah.
I'll be goofy. I'll be a clown. I'll do whatever. So I'm not going to hide that because that could be the most fun stuff, like,
Exactly.
sliding down the driveway on my boots because it's a sheet of ice and I really want to see what the road conditions are.
Yes. The only thing, like the people who always have the camera going, those are the geniuses. I saw one the other day where somebody was literally like army crawling it. It was so good. But like who has their camera ready?
Well, and I yelled at my husband because when we first got the snow and my beagle was pretending he was a sled dog and he's like, his legs are this big and I'm behind him with the leash and he's like pulling and pulling. I'm like, I told you to video that. He goes, I'm trying to run the grill. I'm trying to, and I said, you have to take pictures.
You need a partner is what we need.
I,
Oh, so our takeaway today on Groundhog's Day is find somebody who's always willing to watch you, like follow you with a camera.
Lord, I was going to ask you. You did something the other day which was really great, and I laughed because you told people you were going to the pharmacy, but you were actually going to the bookstore.
Yeah. Yes.
I love it.
This is what
But
you do in Spain to get away from the family.
were you filming with one of those? I don't even know how to say it. One of those pokey things that's like
Sometimes I
sticking
am,
up
but
for
that
your
was probably just a arm, you know.
and the people behind you on the street are like, "What's
What
she
is she
doing?"
doing? Yeah, you have to get over that if you're gonna
That's a
do
big one. That's a
it
big
is a
one.
big
The
one.
self-consciousness is really, like
Yeah.
if I flip the camera around to do a selfie, I always feel like, do people think I love myself? Because I'm like, You know,
You know what I used to do? Because our generation didn't grow up with it. So I would like avoid looking at it, but that makes the selfie look really weird. So everyone younger than 30 is like, what's your guys' problem? It's
I
fine. Just
know,
take a
just have your camera
selfie.
out all the time. Yes. So for everybody listening, you will understand that Kat and I are different ages.
Yeah.
We have
We're
different,
not of selfie ages.
we're not of
Neither
selfie
one of us.
ages, although
No.
I'm more like the beaten into the stone age. But
Oh, also, like I'm learning from people in DC. I saw someone the other day and I took a picture with them, and she was so smart to like, oh, I think she tucked her chin.
mhm.
Couldn't remember. And I'm just like, hey, like, I can't believe it. And she's like tucking her chin and like rolling her shoulders back. And I was like,
Rolling your shoulder and
somebody
do it,
was
yeah.
taught.
And we during COVID, when I was working for a community, and our marketing department got put in charge of resident engagement. So we're like, uh, so I started writing a newscast, WCBD,
Nice.
CVD, yeah, Channel 19, where distancing comes first. So, so I'm writing these things and we're producing and doing an hour-long newscast every week for the residents. And um, I'm just doing my thing where it looks like I have 14 chins, and my my partner over here, she's like, "Well, don't you know which side's the best one?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Well, I look and make sure." And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Really?"
How do they know this stuff?
I'm like, "How do you know this stuff?" And she's like, "Press your shoulder out." And I'm like, "Oh God, okay, you know what? By the time I do that, I'm gonna look like I've got cramps or something, and I'm just like all weird."
What's up,
So
guys?
that, yeah. Just like one of those things. And God love you if you have enough forethought to do that.
No
But
kidding.
I have gone to work and gone, oh crap, my hair's still in a ponytail from when I got out of bed this morning. I didn't comb my
I
hair.
didn't comb my hair. Like my mom used to go in her curlers, remember, and just take them out at
Oh
the
my gosh,
last
yes.
second.
Yeah,
She'd always
yeah, yeah,
miss
yeah.
one. Good
So
time. Good
so
times.
it's difficult, and I'm one of those people that kind of I avoid mirrors. I don't want to look in them because
Wow.
I'm always like, oh.
Especially when it's a window that you can see just out of the blue with no warning. What is that
That
about?
is just bad. When I mean, because my first question is, if I'm walking down the sidewalk and I'm looking in a store and I see my reflection, the first thing I say is, God, are my hips really that big? Do you get the extra 10 pounds in a glass window as you do on
Yeah, this is
TV?
wobbled, right? Like this is something, this is warped. I
It's a
don't
funny
know.
mirror. It's one of those funhouse mirrors.
Is this the circus? Did I just walk into the circus?
Yeah. So
Here.
anyway, we digress, and we will
Yeah, okay.
apologize
So
in advance
what
because
were we
this is
talking
probably
about?
going to happen a lot.
Buy a
Yeah.
selfie stick, everyone, and just get ready for
Yes, buy a
that.
selfie stick if you feel like you want to look yourself in the mirror for a long time and figure out which is the best. That's all up to you, but you don't have to do any of it. You just
No,
do what feels natural to you.
I think you just got to start. Like,
You just have to start, but you don't want to start without a goal in mind.
right, which is
So
why we're going to go into goals.
yes, but it's never too soon to start thinking about these things. And,
Mm,
if there's someone that you just follow all the time and they are writing in the same genre or something like that, it never hurts to see what they're doing, to see how it feels to you.
hmm
You know, like we said, I'm never going to be able to do the Megan Quinn thing because I'm not that cute and I can't get all close to the camera and do all that. But she does it beautifully.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's for me is like I love watching her, but I know that's not going to work for me.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point though to maybe spend some actually conscious time on social media and being like, I love that for them,
Hmm.
but I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. And maybe even start saving stuff that you might do. I do have a
Hmm.
lot saved where like I might do that. And I
Yeah.
think I've gotten a little bit pickier. It's been like 10 months since I really actually focused on social media. I went up and down and up and down and up and down. And when we say marketing, I do want to say that we're not just talking about social media. We are going to talk about all the different kinds of marketing, right? But I do think we will talk about social media every week just because it's the most accessible.
The most accessible. And it's the thing where, you know, everybody assumes that everybody else knows how to do it,
Yeah.
how to create accounts and how to do these things and what is a reel opposed to a story and you know do you have a separate account for your business versus your personal and what that I mean there's a lot of things that
Exactly.
Kat and I are hoping that we can provide resources for
Yep.
everybody
Absolutely.
um, and links to things that may seem simple but are not necessarily simple. I had somebody today say, I know I should be on TikTok, but I don't even know how to download it. What am I doing? And
Yeah.
that to
It's a real
somebody in their
question.
20s is like, but that's part of it, having resources where we can go to this link and here's a how-to for just creating a TikTok account, or
Yep.
here's the difference between a reel, a story, and a post on Instagram, and those kind of things, which seem very simplistic, but they're not always. And we're all at different levels of what we know and what we're learning. And, if I never plan on using TikTok, I don't need to know how to create an account in TikTok. But if
Right.
I'm going on Substack, I'm going to need to learn how to use that
Oh,
and what that
Substack.
means.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I do get people asking, "What is Substack and how do I use it?" Because it's
Mhm.
weird.
I have readers, I have writers that are traditionally published that I work with, and I have mentioned Substack to them, and they don't have any clue what it is.
Yeah, there's too many things out there.
Yeah,
And you
there's
go,
too many
well,
things, and they're, traditionally published authors have a different skill set than
mhm.
indie authors need,
Yeah, but they
because of
they
the
could
marketing.
they're starting to cross, right? Like
Oh
with
yeah.
I would assume most traditional published authors that I've worked with, they know how to interview because
Hmm.
their PR people have gotten them interviews, whether it be
Yes.
like, in print or on audio, or maybe
Hmm.
some of them. I've never worked with anyone who did television, but I'm sure a lot of them do.
Hmm.
Um, but that's now there's sort of crossing over. There's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of YouTube channels, and indie
Yep.
authors can do that. And I have interviewed a lot of people, and sometimes people don't make it on my podcast because it's so difficult to talk, to get a
Yeah.
conversation with
Yeah.
them. And then you're crossing over, like traditional published need to figure out newsletters and
Yes.
Instagram or TikTok or whatever because they've never had to. And whereas
Yeah.
indie authors might be like very comfortable with that.
I might have to do, I have a traditionally published author who's been very, very successful and but the book that's coming out, he's like, they're not giving me a lot of support marketing wise, so I want you to do a strategy for me for the
Right.
because I told him I said it takes a year. We need, if the book's coming out in the spring of 2027, we are going to use this year to ramp up and build and get ready for your launch that will happen. Um, and so it's going to be very interesting because he's like, no Facebook. I'm like, okay, no Facebook.
Facebook is boring.
Yeah. And he was like, no Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok, no. And I'm like, all right, well, then we're going to have to sit down and figure out a way
Right.
to get you out there. And it's just very interesting, the whole difference in the skill set,
Yeah, that's true.
because he's never had to do it. It's always been done for him.
Right.
But he's realized over the years that it's gotten less and less. And so it's like, okay, now I know I need help
Yeah.
and I need a website and I need, well, he's got a website, but it's very static and but anyway, so as I'm doing this strategy for him, it might be interesting if I come upon
Yeah.
points that anybody might want to,
What
um,
else there is? Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, because
yeah,
I'm sure there are people they want to do faceless Instagram or they want to do, and I have gone back and forth on all the things. So man, I've been in this for 9 years. How is that possible? I don't like doing math. That's why I stay away from
yeah, I
math. It
don't
makes
like
me feel
math either.
old. What? Um, but I think you will go through phases. I definitely did. None of that. Okay, I guess I should do that. Oh, none of that. I've always done newsletters. So what we are going to start doing, we are going to have links. We're going to have resources for people. We're not going to start at the basics for a lot of things, but we'll have links to them. So, if you want to start social media, we'll have some links of people that we trust and YouTube, and, you can follow it and whatever, so that you can then decide if you want to implement it. But next week, 2 weeks from now, sorry, y'all, February 16th,
Whatever did that.
we are going to start at the beginning and we're going to have resources for them. What are we going to do? You're going to make me fill something out and then you're going to have that as a resource for them to do as well. Is that what we're doing?
I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the pillars.
Okay.
And then we will start, I probably will have something on there, some exercise sheets on how to examine what are your core values.
Okay.
So that's probably where we're going to start. But, the thing is, you have to have a strategy, and a strategy comes before plan because your strategy is basically that goal. What are you trying to do? And then your plan are those actionable steps that will get you towards that goal. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But my one tip is if you need resources and we send you to places where you can find them, create your resource library on your
Mm,
computer
yeah, good
because
idea.
you need containers
Mm.
for the things,
Oh, we
the
have to be
information that you
organized.
have. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. It makes it much easier. And at some point, we'll get into hopefully content strategy and how to reuse content, how to take one piece
That
of
would be
content,
great.
use it several different ways. Um, but you have to have access to what you've got.
Mm.
So that would be the first thing I would say is make a folder for, resources for, for social media or resources for content strategy or resources for, author branding. And I have my idea book. So this is like when something comes to me, I write my idea down and and so I know that my ideas are here.
Wait, you only have one? You're
For
gonna
this year,
you're
this is a brand new one.
you're gonna make me become a better person. I don't
No, what it is I'm so
become
old I
a
can't
better
remember anything.
bus.
So
No,
I have to
the
write it
problem
down.
is I can never remember where the book is, so I have like four of them. No, but
Yep.
that's okay. We are going to because this is the thing. You're talking to creatives, and I will be very honest, for a long time I was like, "Oh, I don't know how I can't do that. My brain doesn't work like that. I try and I fail all the time and I can't keep it, things
Mhm.
together and what and the very truth, like it I always come back to Becky's right,
I
basically.
love that.
But everyone who, if you do, we are running a business. If your end goal, okay, so let's talk. If you are just a hobbyist as a writer, you probably can take and leave whatever you want. But if you want to sell your book, if you've worked hard on your book and you want it to sell, and you want to write another one and you want that to sell, and you want to sort of have this snowball effect, it's a business, right? And in the
Yes,
end, creative or not creative, high in
it's a
strategy
business.
or strategic or low in strategic as I am,
Yeah.
you do have to have like a plan. You have to have a strategy, then a plan. You have
Yes.
to have organization. So anyone who is like, wincing at this idea, it is something that is probably uncomfortable for a lot of creatives, but it really is necessary and it really will make your life better.
And
Because if you
be a
ever
good
hire a
mindset.
VA, you have to know
Yes.
what your strategy, your plan, and where things are. That is when I tried to hire a VA and I had none of that, she was like, I don't know what, I
To
didn't know what to
do.
tell
I'm gonna
her.
have to read every file you have on your computer so I can figure out where they go.
No
That's
good,
awful.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
not good.
the thing is, though, with creatives, when you understand how your mind works, and everybody does. I tried to when I first started doing my marketing packages. I tried to give everybody a strategy sheet. Well, I hate Excel sheets. I'm sorry. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Now, this is not true to my core value. This is not how I
Mm,
work. So let's look at this. What works for you? Now, I have one client who has white paper on her wall, and that's where she writes things. And that's fine because some people use stickies. I
yeah.
color code everything, but it's not, there's nothing wrong with having a sticky on the wall that says, my idea book is the green folder.
Yeah.
That's where I'm putting my ideas. The pink folder is going to be for a schedule or strategy or things that I would like to do
Yeah.
later. You
That's
know,
actually a really good idea. Where are my sticky
Figure
notes?
out what works for you.
Yes. Yeah, I'm
There's
a big
no,
proponent of that too. You've got in all this stuff, right? What
yeah,
your strategy, your plan, and then implementing it. It will be a lot less frustrating if you figure out, but in order to figure out how you work and what works best for you, you have to start. You have to figure out what
somewhere. And
does and
even if
doesn't.
if the thing you do, you say, okay, right now, listening to the brilliance of Kat and
Yes.
Becky, I'm going to have a notebook. And in that notebook, I am going to write down that just starting today, anything that has to do with marketing is going to be in this notebook. It can have tabs, it can be in all in one place. However it works for you, just start it.
Yeah.
And any thoughts that have come into your mind as we've been talking, and if any of it made sense, um, write it down and then use your calendar.
Mm.
Use your
What?
calendar and go, oh, you know what? I'm going to spend 1 hour this week looking at what I've got and how I want to organize it. 1 hour or
Mm-hmm.
half an hour, whatever you have. And then you will start, just as you start learning about marketing, you will start building on this organization that works for you, however it works for you.
However, yeah.
Personally, I have four calendars, and my husband's like, which calendar are you looking at? I'm like, it doesn't matter. I know what these are all for.
Yes. Yeah, that's all that matters. Don't look
So
over here.
yeah, it's
I
like
know what's over there. I
if
know
you
where
could
it
see
is.
around me right now, the piles I have around this chair, because I don't want to put things up when I'm working. I don't want, because I'm lazy. I don't want to get up, go through. So I have the things I need for the day
Yeah,
all around my
right
chair.
there.
Yeah, it's like, look, there's, okay, there. I'll pick it up. And you've probably seen me do that. I'm like,
Ah,
oh,
let me grab that. Actually, somebody invents something where it's just like it lays on the ground, but maybe like up or I don't know,
oh,
do
like an
something.
elevated table that you
Ooh.
remote control it and it goes, and you pick,
Maybe
oh,
we need one of
a
those like
good
Uber Eat
idea.
robots or something. He can walk in with the.
That would be awesome. I
That would
want
be
the maid
so
from the
cool.
Jetsons.
Oh,
Do you
she was
remember
the
the show The Jetsons?
greatest. I love the Jetsons.
I'd be tossed out of bed, put on a conveyor belt, sent through the shower, have
Yeah.
my clothes put on me, and somebody stuffs something in my face and I go to work.
Yeah, and I think the makeup just went.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That'll be episode 4,923 of Pencils and Lipstick.
Yes, our brains will be in robots at that point.
Yes, probably. So, Kat, how much time do we have left?
Probably not much. I think
Okay.
let's tell them what's coming. So this is going to come every month. We're going to be talking a new topic. Today's just introduction. And next week we're gonna walk through the pillars, what you keep talking about, your author brand, your ideal reader, what your goals are, what your resources and time, and you're gonna make me answer the questions. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's
Yeah.
really helpful though, because you're probably gonna see me go. You're gonna hear Becky be like, "No, Kat, that's not no."
We wanted to call this segment Throw Cat Under the Bus, but we didn't know if that was.
Well, and you're going to throw me under the bus on social media because you already critiqued me 2 days ago. And I was like, well, we might as well add that to the podcast because it is
Well,
hard. You get ideas, you do
yeah.
stuff, and you asked me, is that really going to get you your readers that you're looking for? And I was like, I don't like that question. Because
Well,
the
you know
answer is
what?
no.
It's exciting when you come up with something and you're like, I love this idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean you have to implement it right at that moment because that
What?
might not be the right. Put it in your idea
Dear
book
book. Okay, fine.
under Facebook, Instagram, whatever, the 900 things that you do.
Yeah.
Um, but
Okay, I'm going
you
to have to
just,
buy a new notebook.
I know, and that is the best
That
fun in
is
the
the
world. Yes. But anyway, so we'll go through and we will try to be as I mean, we can't be extremely, extremely specific because we don't have a ton of time when we do these things, but we will try to make sure that we have some resource links for you,
right.
give you some good practical advice, maybe some mindset things, because I think
Mm-hmm.
the mindset of writers is probably one of the biggest barriers that they have,
Yes.
not knowing their value or understanding how many tools they already have in their toolkit
Yes.
because writers are actually very well equipped to do marketing. And I would probably rather work with a writer on marketing than anybody else because the creativity and the ability to build story is there. And that's what marketing is
Yeah.
you're building a story of yourself first, and then you're
I
promoting your
love that.
story.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we've got the
um,
tools. We just need some guidance. How's that?
yeah. And you
So
need to understand that it doesn't have to be hard. Simple is good.
I think we
Step
like
by
making
step.
things hard.
Well, if you overwhelm yourself, then you're like, I can't do it. I'm too
Yeah.
overwhelmed. And that's a cop out and an excuse.
Ooh,
Believe me, I use it all the
Becky's
time.
bringing it.
I use it all the time on myself. It's like, it's like, oh, shut up, Becky. You know you need
You
to
know
do
you
that. So
can
just
do
do
it.
that.
Yes. So we're going to break it down into easily done easy, doable stuff.
Digestible little nuggets.
Yes.
That's
So
chicken nuggets
little
of
chicken nuggets.
marketing.
And you're gonna throw me under the bus on social media, or like,
Mhm.
sometimes you can say I did a good job. I can go like this.
I think that you do a good job. There's no doubt about that. I think your posts are very memorable. I'm just not sure they're in the context
They are
that people
memorable.
understand what it is that you're trying to
How
achieve.
many books did you sell?
That's right. Look at
So
my books.
we're
They're
going to
pretty.
narrow Kat's focus on social media, and but we're also thinking about doing lives. Because
Mhm.
in the end, we do realize that as much as we talk about this recorded on, implementing marketing, somebody somewhere is going to have like, yeah, but what about this? And we're not going to think of it in the moment, and it's not going to
Mhm.
get there. So we are going to have 2 lives this semester. This I'm thinking
Yes, we're
school,
back in
right?
school, kids. We're all
Yeah.
back in school.
Well, because it's
Ha-
like,
ha-
one in the winter and one in the
i-
spring, I
In the
guess.
next 6 months, we're going to be doing 2 lives.
We're already in February, though. So in the next
We're
5 months, we're going to
Oh God. Okay, so March, and right now, tentatively, we're scheduling end of March and then end of
end
June
of
for the
June.
2 lives, which will give everyone the opportunity, if they're interested, to send in questions that we can answer. And even if you are not able to watch it live, you have to watch the recording of it. If you send your question in, we will try to answer it. And if not, we'll answer it directly to you
Yeah,
because we are nice like that.
we are nice and it's free.
Yes. And it's free.
So who doesn't want to be there?
Yes. And we're fun. We're a little goofy, but we're
Yeah.
pretty fun.
And it's going to
But
be
yeah, so
Friday afternoon, so there might be drinks and
there might be
mocktails
drinks
or
involved.
cocktails involved.
Yes.
We will see.
I
So
cannot tell a
that
lie.
information, we will continue to give that information. And of course, we're going to give all the, as it grows and as new things come. So the links will always be in the show notes. So all the resources that we talk about will be in the show notes. And then more information will keep going. At the moment, if you guys want to keep up in the know, you're going to need to follow my writer's newsletter. And then we're going to throw Becky under the bus if she doesn't have a newsletter up.
This is already turning out to be so much fun.
You
Why
know
didn't we
what?
start
Stop
this
recording.
earlier?
I'm sick. I can't do it.
Yes. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And this is what I say is physician heal thyself, because it is very, very easy
So
to
easy to
give
say.
suggestions and help people and coach them through this, but we're all fallible and we all have things we don't like to do. But you know what? I'm game. I will be
We got
the
to do it.
newsletter guinea pig.
Yeah. And just like you said, we're going to bring in some people, talking about people that you should follow. You should see this. We'll bring up some newsletters of authors who we love and we're always entertained by
Mhm.
them and like, look at this.
Yes.
And I really think that, you obviously don't just copy paste, but you do get inspired by people who are doing it in a certain way, who have learned, and so you always need inspiration. So those links will also be in the show notes. So we are excited. I think you're excited, right?
And
I'm
one of
excited.
the things that we like to do, because this is just how we roll, is direct you to people who are doing good things in our writing community and support one another, because that is really a big part of being a good literary citizen and being someone who understands the importance of connection.
Yeah.
And, writers need to get off our little islands and all start coming together so that we can support one another and really
Yes.
understand that everybody's kind of going through the same thing
Yes.
because we're all learning.
Be
So,
supportive.
yeah, and we will try to direct you to places that are vetted and reputable and good places for you to take a look at different things that people do in the marketing. So,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so we are going to start with a bang in 2 weeks.
hey, we're so excited.
We're
All
very
right.
excited. So
Yes.
we're going to continue Pencils and Lipstick as we usually do through June. We'll take off July and August, but we will be doing the last live of how to continue everything that we're teaching you guys. So be sure to tell everyone, all your writer friends, that on the 3rd week of every month, we are going to have a new marketing episode.
We're going to be doing the magic of marketing, or
Ooh,
marketing isn't magic, or, you know, that kind of thing.
we'll keep working on the
Something
title.
fun. We're evolving because we don't know what the name really is supposed to
Every
be.
month it will be a new title.
See, this is how you learn.
This is how you learn and grow. It's called
Send your
development.
suggestions for what we should name this
Yes.
to
The
Cat.
magic marketing hour.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh,
I
we
have my
do. You do have
wand.
a wand, and once we have our tiaras, it'll be the princess marketing hour.
I'm going to get you yours. I have to find mine, but I have
One
one for
last
you.
question before we got, because you're a romance book, like you really love romance. Is all of our marketing going to be only for romance writers?
No,
Okay.
because marketing pertains to any genre. It's the way that you learn it, and then you can become very specific for your genre. But the premise is always the same.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's really it's this is good for anybody that wants to learn more about marketing when
From
you're a
two
writer.
kooky chicks.
Two cookie chicks, that's it. Two kooky chicks. Could you spell kooky? Because I don't think I know.
Yeah, not in a good way. Ooh.
Yeah,
It's one of those
I
words
remember
that when
reading
you
that.
write it, you go, I don't think that that's how the spelling goes.
We're going to come up with something better, but that was a
Oh, I
good
bet
first
you write it with a
try.
K. K-O.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yes. You and
Well,
I are
so this
right
has
on the
been
same
so
wavelength.
successful.
We're going to stop recording now. All right. So
Yeah.
everyone join us in 2 weeks. February 16th is going to be our first marketing episode. We're going to do the
Yay.
pillars, and
Yay.
we'll see you
All
guys
right,
there.
everybody, stay safe and warm. It's kind of cold where I am right now, so
Yeah. Do the army crawl on the
do the
ice.
army crawl with your camera. Take
Keep
pictures.
your camera. That's right. That we're going to end it with that. Keep your camera out.
Keep your camera out. Be safe.
Be safe.